This is EA Sports. PGA Tour coverage coming up next. Frank, what should the golfers be looking out for today?
Going to have to play well from tee to green for a start. That's where most of the problem is. It sets up beautifully for what we call a second shot golf course, providing you can get the ball in play. You will get rewarded for good iron play around here. The reason why is because when you miss, you're penalized. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. Let's see if he does it here. Safely on the dance floor.
Shouldn't be a problem here. Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Has this now for bogey. +1 in the early going. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway.
All right, Frank, what's the player looking at here on the second hole with the approach shot?
Well, Rich, notice the bunker that cuts into the green on the left side. It turns it into a crescent-shaped green. So really there's 3 distinct sections, the one in the back, the one in the middle, and the front. Just be very wary of where the flag is here.
Good-looking shot right here. Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. So a bogey on the first, but a good bounce back here. Moving to the third hole, it's a par 4 again. This one 471 yards.
Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
Well, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Not on the fairway here. This could be a tough shot coming up next. It's a 180-yard shot, his second. Frank, this one is veering far to the left. Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie, but really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That was not a very good read right there.
Even par currently.
In for par. Frank, this is our first par 3 of the day. The fourth, about 192 yards.
And it's called sandpit. So if you're not on the green, chances are you're getting that lob wedge or sand wedge out. The green is 36 yards deep. Got a nice little sort of hump and hollow roll to it. Mini roller coaster.
Headed for the bunker? That one is in the bunker. Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, so greenside bunker. What's he looking to do with this shot, Frank?
Well, really you have to look at the amount of green you got to play with. You don't have to try and fly the ball right by the flag. allow it to run. Plus, if you can get it to run like a putt, you never know. It might just go in.
You like this one, Frank?
Oh, it's a good one. Safely on.
That's a par, and that keeps the scorecard clean, still even for the round. Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other. Ooh, nice little bounce forward. Should be close to 300, 290.
Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
About 25 feet from the cup. I mean, they don't come around too often. Opportunities for eagle. You want to seize it if you get the chance. This is a good one here. You've got to be kidding me. That was right on the edge.
I tell you, he wants a do-over there.
So just a formality here. Drops a second birdie for the day. Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3-6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
Shot now from the rough. Frank, what's he facing?
Well, the lie first and foremost. If it's sitting down, then obviously you're not going to get a very good contact. Nothing wrong with coming up a little bit short of the green. Problem is turning one mistake into another.
Frank, I think what sets golf apart from other sports is that the fan can get so close to the great athlete as the round is being played.
Yeah, well, that's why the sport itself, and we consider it more intimate for that reason. Most golf spectators play the game, whereas other sports, you don't see NFL players sitting in the grandstand. You see spectators, but most golf fans are golfers.
Superb shot.
Well, it's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
Solid par to remain 1 under.
We're at the 7th now, 346 yards with plenty of water on that right side. How do you handle this one, Frank?
You've got to pick a target there. A lot of people think when they're laying up off the tee, and that's exactly what this hole is. You just blaze away at something down the left side. But if you're going to pick a tree, don't just pick the tree. Pick a branch or a leaf. Be more specific. Great Bobby Jones used to say the hardest shot in golf's the next one. Judging by that light, it's not going to be too hard.
Getting set for another approach. Our featured golfer really looks dialed in at this point.
Yeah, right now this is a great feeling to have as a golfer. Your swing's good, the timing, it's almost like it's just completely natural. You don't have to think. The swing is exactly where you want it to be. So really you're just looking at the flag in front of you.
Getting set now over the putt. Makes the putt and moving in the right direction. 2 under par.
555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. Leaves that one about 20 feet out from the cup. Nicely played shot.
And it's a long way to the hole from here. Never easy.
It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Really has it going now. Back-to-back birdies.
Frank, the par 4 ninth at 452 yards is all you want.
Yeah, you could make 5 here every day just by poking it down the left side, but who wants to do that? Force your hand, try and go down the right side. You might make the odd 3, make a few more 4s, but miss it on the right, and that's where you start to make a big number.
Well, not this time. That one's in the rough. Might be a tough shot coming up. Just in the first cut of rough. Not a bad lie. The only issue is he might get a jumper here. Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Frankie seems to have found something. Already 2 birdies in a row and now another chance.
Yeah, it's all starting to flow here. This is really important. He's starting to play well, so finish it off here for 3 in a row. Just seems an absolute waste. Got to take your time.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Did the job right there. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is. This looks like it's going to find the target.
That is classy.
Yeah, a chance of going in.
For birdie. You have to like that. 4 under.
Now at the long par 5 11. They call it eternity with good reason. It is 617 yards. Frank, what's the game plan here?
Hit it as long as you can, hopefully only a couple of times, and you can get fairly close to this green. Little pitch up there, but even if you go for this green or try and get close, that's when you start to notice the water that comes in on the left side. So you can't just bash away. Might only be a couple of bunkers in play off the tee, but they have to be avoided.
Wow, that is a monster drive down there, about 315 yards. You can see a little bit off balance on the tee, and that one is going to be in the rough. Frank made this hole just a little bit harder hitting it into the rough.
I would say a lot harder.
This requires a lot of speed through the ball. Well, that's what the great ones do. From the rough, they use their skill and their strength to get it out and get it close. Well, that's just a case of not focusing right there. What a lapse in concentration. So they'll tap in. Knock that down for par. Remains at 4 under.
Frank, Pete Dye always gets a player thinking what might be going through a player's mind right here.
You're going to play it as a layup. You know, that's a given. It's just what distance you want. And for every distance you're going to hit it off the tee, Pete Dye gives you a different challenge. If you lay it all the way back, obviously you've got the widest fairway. Then you've got the longer second shot. Get a little closer, it starts to shrink up, shrink up, shrink up. So it's how much do you want to bite off?
Nothing to argue about there. Right in the fairway.
Frank, what's the right play here? Second to the short 12th.
Short flags, obviously got to keep it on that front section. When you've got a back flag, you've got to get it over that little faint ridge that's in the middle of the screen. Got to go past that.
Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
And now we're at the par 3 13th hole, 214 yards. Well, Frank, we came off a hole, the short par 4 12th, where players no doubt were thinking about making birdie. Here, it's a different story. Why?
It is. Well, 13 is always going to be unlucky for some. There's so much water down there on that left side. And the way it sort of laps up to the wooden bulkhead, it looks anything other than a straight shot. And this is where you have to mentally move the flag. You've got to push that flag in your mind's eye to the right side of the green and say, I do not want to go left of that.
Okay, good shot on the dance floor. Settles in over the putt. They'll take it. That's a par. Well, Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left. Great drive.
Came right out of the middle of the bat. Moving into this second shot here at hole number 14.
Frank, this TPC Stadium course in La Quinta, California has quite a history, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Every style of golf, age group, whether it's someone trying to get their tour card at the tour school, skins games played here from 1986 to 1991, even the PGA Club Professional Championship. They've all come and played here. It's so good to see it on the back on the rotation. But I've got to say, the one thing, and I was there, in 2000, it was the PGA Tour Q School. It was won by Stephen Allen, who was an Australian player. But the worst thing I've ever seen on a golf course happened on Alcatraz, 17th hole there. Joe Daly, who was looking like he was going to make his PGA Tour card, had a putt of about 3 feet. And I think he was playing with Craig Perks, who went on to win the Players' Championship. Joe Daly hits this putt. It hits the back of the hole, the liner in the hole, and popped out on the front lip. Never saw that before. It was amazing. And as luck would have it, Joe Daly missed his tour card by 1 shot.
That was as cruel a twist as I have ever seen in golf.
Oh, if this is up, it's good.
Good contact, good result. He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
There's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
You can't hide the flagstick from that man.
He is just unbelievable. That never deviated offline.
That was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Just a couple of feet. Really has it going at 5 under.
This is the second par 5 at PGA West of 600 or more yards. The 16th is a pretty good test.
What a drive. Just tattooed that. Now from a good position in the fairway, his second shot. Crucial eagle attempt on the way. This is a long putt. Really, the key is the speed. If it drops, that's a bonus. So a good lag putt there, Frank.
Yeah, the whole idea of a lag putt, sometimes you build a 3 or a 4 foot circle. Just try and get it inside that. Good putt.
6 under par now.
So, Frank, you arrive on the tee box. What are you thinking here as you look out at the hole they call Alcatraz? Par 3 17th at 168 yards.
Well, we've seen it all here, Rich, from that hole-in-one that Lee Trevino had in the Skins game all the way back in 1987 to people splashing away left, right, and center. No advice here. You can see what's in front of you. And this will be fine, just a little left of the flag.
That was a solid strike and a good result. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been.
Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You're allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on that. Easy birdie.
8 is not enough. That is 8 under par with that birdie.
Frank, a lot to like in this performance today.
Oh, it is. There's so many positives to take out of this round. Not just the possibility to win this week, but going forward. This is great golf that you would hold up against anybody right now.
This is EA Sports coverage of the PGA Tour. We're here today at the PGA West Stadium course located in La Quinta, California. Frank, why is this golf course such a challenge?
There's really no bailout, Rich. You miss it left, there's trouble. Miss it right, there's trouble. If you don't get the distance right, you're going to find trouble. So it really is a point-to-point golf course.
Here we are at the first tee, ready to kick off the round. Frank?
Good tee shot straight out of the gate. You're going to need it on a hole that's close to 450 yards. Doesn't really matter if you cut it or draw it. Just be wary of that bunker that sits on the right side. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. The bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Yes, he's holed it, Frank.
Unbelievable. From that distance.
Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway.
Teed up here at the second hole, Frank, this is a short par 4 measuring about 370 yards.
While it mightn't have the yardage, it's certainly made up in strategy by all the bunkering down here, Rich. And it's really two bunkers that you've got to, or two complexes that you've really got to worry about. One down the left, you see, is about 285 yards to carry, and then that next crop comes in just about 300 yards. So you've got to decide whether to go over the bunker on the left and short of the other one, or even lay up to the right, perhaps short. And that's where you realize this is very much a two-shot hole, and play it that way.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point.
Frank, this is the kind of start every player wants.
Yeah, swinging it well. Certainly hitting the ball in the right place there. And, yeah, good thing, too. He's actually putting well. Oh, beautiful swing. And the result is every bit as good.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Ready for a second shot, trying to knock it on the green.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, not just a player, but an artist. Just beautiful work right there.
The only thing I can say, Rich, is that was Seve-esque.
Wow, he got robbed, Frank.
No, it's like kissing your mother-in-law.
Clean this up with a tap. Did the job right there. Frank, this is our first par 3 of the day. The fourth, about 192 yards.
And it's called sandpit. So if you're not on the green, chances are you're getting that lob wedge or sand wedge out. The green is 36 yards deep. Got a nice little sort of hump and hollow roll to it. Mini roller coaster.
Frank, looks like he came over just a little bit.
Yeah, that one wasn't pretty, but it's still gonna get away with it.
So a chance for birdie after another solid approach shot.
It's no snack, though.
Just has the feel today. So we played our first par 3, now to the first par 5 on this golf course at PGA West. It is the 535-yard fifth hole. Frank, it appears as though it rewards precision off the tee.
And the bombers, too. You can run out of water at 335 yards. So for the Dustin Johnsons of the world and the Rory McIlroys, that's nearly doable. But if you can't hit it that far, it's quite obvious. You've got to keep it down the right side. And for those people, they put two little bunkers there.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway. Nice position, short grass, second shot.
Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Well, that was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Starting to move in the right direction. 5 under after that made putt.
Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
Just slides by.
Yeah, can't afford to miss too many of those out here today.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards, so I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Superb shot.
It's as good as it's going to get. There's going to be no worries about making that one.
But he has it for birdie.
Now the second par 5 on this opening 9 here at PGA West. Frank, what are we looking at?
The bunker down the right side gives you that optical illusion because it sort of has that curvy edge to it, plus it sort of moves its way to that right side, and then you notice there's a bunker on the left that sneaks in on the left side. So this isn't just sort of blaze away off the tee. It still requires a good straight tee shot. If you do err a little bit, then you've got to be very cognizant of the bunkers up on the left side as you get closer to the green.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5. That is an excellent play right there. The approach, giving him another good look. Shouldn't be a problem here. Now 8 under on the day.
Frank, the 9th hole at 452 yards. That water down the lane is really a test of a player's driving ability, isn't it?
It is, and his ability to sort of take the shot on. Ideally, just something with a little bit of a fade, unless you can carry the ball 300 yards, then you can get it just past that bunker. But when you look at this hole, notice how that fairway just starts to open up. So Pete Dye will reward an aggressive tee shot, but also he'll punish it if it's wayward.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special. Safely on deck.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. So a long putt there and just didn't read it quite right.
Settles in over the putt.
8 under par for the round.
Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. Ah, nice.
Looks good.
Oh, that's fine.
He has given this one the full treatment. Perfect release through the ball. And this shot is on the fairway, over 300 yards.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is gone.
Wow, lucky break right there, Frank.
Well, that's what everyone else is going to say, except him. Really. This is that awkward length.
Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
They'll take it. That's a par. Frank, how about this hole, the par 5 11? Long one.
Oh, it is. And, you know, anything over 600 yards, only the longest it is the Bubba Watsons, the Dustin Johnsons of the world. The other ones that can get home on a hole like this. For the other ones, even those bunkers down the left side have sort of in play. You at least have to give them a cursory look off the tee. Nothing wrong with a hole a par 5 that you can't reach. You can still play it as a 3-shotter. And in some respects, you get rewarded for laying up here because that water that comes in on the left-hand side, that's not going to be in play.
Second from an excellent lie.
Gets a good kick. It's only in the first cut.
Not too
bad.
Frank, I like the way he sort of starts his swing a little bit on the outside and then drops it right on plane. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man.
So a tester from 4 feet.
Oh, I thought they'd at least pick up a shot. Birdie looked like a sitter. Now par.
Seems to really have the touch today.
Now the par 4 12th, only 363 yards, but Frank, it is intricate. There's a lot involved, isn't there, in playing a hole like this?
Yeah, I think this is where you have to work out, you know, which clubs do you hit the best? Are you better with a 9 on, are you better with the wedge? Because that's the distance you want to hit it to. That's how you can be aggressive, even when you're laying up.
That is tasty looking right there, Frank. Just a perfect spot in the fairway.
That is prime real estate. How do you get a lie like that? Seriously, you could hit any club from that.
Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green.
Wow, Frank, he is dialed in.
Yeah, that was just some shot on there. Easy birdie.
You may have lost track at home, but we're keeping count. And that is 9 under for the day.
Frank, what do you make of this par 3 13th at 214 yards?
It's another example of Pete Dye using those sort of very harsh wooden bulkheads that give you that such a definitive line around the edge of the green. Plus, it's his ability to turn a straight hole into a very angular or crooked-looking hole.
Frank, this one's not looking good.
Yeah, certainly not down the fairway line, heading toward the rough.
Pretty good result right there, considering
it looked rough all the way.
Exactly.
Rich, really did. It's no snack, though. Well,
Frank, kind of a make-or-break hole here at the 14th, par 4, 389 yards.
Yeah, for the Cavalier player, you can sort of go at this green in a more direct line. 290 yards will take all this bunker down the right out of play. Just leave you a flick in here. I'm going to say that's not a bad play, really. If you don't do that, then you just got to thread it down the left.
Nicely played shot, about 310 yards down the fairway.
Now the approach shot here at 14. Beautiful shot. That is tight.
Unbelievable. That is one to savor for the rest of the round.
Frank, this would jumpstart the round. The third straight birdie.
Some good playing.
Well, Frank, we are turning home. It says so on the scorecard here at 15.
It is, and once again, another example of great bunkering by Pete Dye. Bunkers on a lot of golf courses are just simply left and right. But what Pete Dye does, he lets them cut in, especially that one down the left side of the fairway it cuts in. So it has to be avoided, and it's going to be about 280 yards to take it completely out of play. That's probably the best line, is to get it just past that last bunker on the left side.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag.
Frank, this one's going too far left, it looks like.
Yeah, it was fine there for a little while, but if it keeps going left, it's doomed.
Just averted danger right there. So close.
Why does he have all the luck?
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. I thought that was in.
Yeah, it looked good. I mean, line, pace. It's hard to be critical of that.
Just a couple of feet. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall.
Rich, I once asked Tom Weiskopf, I was really young, I said, who's the greatest putter you've ever seen? And I thought the answer was going to be Ben Crenshaw, Billy Casper, even my fellow countryman Bob Charles. And he sort of shook it off, and he said, that's the easiest questions anyone's ever asked me. It's Jack Nicklaus. I'm like, Jack Nicklaus was this great player, hit the ball far and high and all that. And I said, well, why would you say he's a great putter? He said, well, when you hit a shot to 30 feet on just about every hole, and you never look at a makeable putt, but the first one you get, the first 10-footer, you just bury it straight in the middle of the hole. He said, that's a great putter. He said, when you watch Nicklaus's career over the years, time and time again, he wouldn't have a makeable putt. Take two putts. But when he had one, the first one he looked at, he knocked it in. And he said, that is what a great putter does.
He made them when it mattered. 18 times to win major championships. It mattered for Jack.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank in a bit of trouble here at the par 5, missing the green on that third shot.
Yeah, just battling to make par. And this is going to be difficult.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
Good par. Now to the signature par 3. It only plays 168 yards from the tips, but the tee sits up high and the wind can blow, and a lot can happen here.
This looks like it's going to find the target. Repetitive is often sounds boring. This is just shot after shot, and it's anything other than that. Spectacular.
Building something very special. 12 under par.
Well, Frank, hopefully the player has arrived here at 18 in a pretty good frame of mind. If not, you have to be thinking, oh, here we go again. Water left. I mean, you could shoot 100 out here on this golf course if you don't have your best stuff.
Yeah, this is another example of, you're right, if you've got the bad mojo going, this is not the hole you want to be playing. Water left, bunkers right. Somewhere in between, though, this fairway.
That ball's run out certainly over 300 yards, Frank. Call it about 310. Frank, this approach shot seems pretty straightforward. Just don't hit it left.
Yeah, it's a tough second shot. It's that visual. Once again, you've got that green that's angled to the left. But once again, like a few holes out here, you do not have to hit directly at this flag. You're allowed to move that flag mentally 15, even 20 feet to the right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Continues to amaze. Yet another birdie. And what a day it's been. Frank, I have to say, I've been impressed by the level of golf today. Really came out here with a solid game plan and